Today I'm going to go over part one of the no-hole yarn over knitting. The first swatch we're doing is just increases, which I think is the most obvious way to use yarn overs in your knitting. But we're going to do no-hole yarn overs. And the reason I love doing this is because A, I'm the laziest knitter on earth. I'm always going to try to find the path of least resistance, okay? I also really like a clean visual plane. These little no-hole yarn overs give us this beautiful, clean edge. Wherever the yarn over is placed, it doesn't distort the stitches, it doesn't cause the surrounding stitches to feel more loose or to feel more tight. You still retain the stretch of your fabric, which makes it great for shawl edges. And I love it for garter stitch. Basically, any garter stitch project ever, you should be using this increase method. I do talk a lot about this on my journal page when we get into this part one, and just to briefly go over it here again if you haven't read it. The idea here is knit simply, be efficient, and have a beautiful fabric, because that's what we're doing with knitting, right? We're not just making a garment, we're creating a fabric. This fabric is lovely. It's clean, it's tidy, visually pleasing. When we first learn to knit, we normally learn our knit into the front and back, the KFB, and I've always hated it from the day I did my first increase. I hated the little bump on the left, and I hated that it always looked like your increase was shifted one stitch to the left if you were working on an edge. It's just a weird personal thing. There are few things that I'm really nitpicky about, I guess, with knitting, and that was one of them. It drove me bananas. So, for this swatch, you can find the instructions on the journal page, the no-hole yarn over knitting part 1, and this is just the simplest introduction. Part 2, we're going to move into the central double increase, which you can see here. We're also going to cover this beautiful bind off, which is super stretchy. I call it a mock I-cord just because it has this beautiful line that's kind of like stockinette, and then the edge here has that same beautiful line that looks like stockinette. Dogs are barking at foxes. Super stretchy, super clean, super beautiful. Hush, Bubba. And then here you can see the central double increase. This is going to be the same increase that you use for brioche knitting. I love it for brioche, obviously, but I also love it for any 2-stitch repeat, where if you want to maintain your stitch pattern, you have to increase 2 stitches at a time to do so. So that's 1x1 ribbing, your twisted rib, anything like that. It gives this beautiful directional stitch pattern, and in stockinette you can see it very clearly. However, in ribbing or in brioche, it's less obvious, so I love that. Part 3 is going to get a little bit more complex, and we're going to be doing directional increases. So this increase, we have right and left leaning increases here, all done with yarn overs. Again, on this swatch, I have the stretchy mock I-cord bind off that I love. Super stretchy, great for shawls, great for cuffs, great for necklines, great for everything. And then finally, part 4, increasing in color work using yarn overs. This is the method I used in the Neve pullover from Elemental Knits. Of course, in pattern writing, it says make one ours. That's because it simplifies things. But me personally, for my own sample, I used the no-hole yarn overs. So I'm going to go over this with you in part 4 and show you exactly where these increases are, because they're everywhere. There are actually 10 just in this swatch. Can you find them? My friend Emily, I sent her a picture and I said, let's play a game. Find the yarn over increases in my swatch. She did pretty good. She found 3 right away. But there are 10 in this swatch. I'll let you look at it for a second. Do you see them? Okay, so that's really fun. It's awesome. But back to today. So part 1. What we're going to do is cast on here, and then we're going to increase here along these edges. And if you're reading your instructions, which I should pull up just so that I can tell you exactly what we're doing verbatim for the swatch. All right, so we're casting on 5 stitches. Here I'm just using a light worsted weight, maybe closer to a DK in size 6 needles. You can use any yarn and needles that you like. I would recommend something that's smooth so that you can see what the heck you're doing. And once you see how simple this is, you're gonna die. All right, so we're gonna move this guy out of the way. And we're gonna cast on 5 stitches. And we're gonna knit 1 row. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of zip through here until we get to the juicy parts. So you can fly along with me, knitting this first row. And then row 1 is right side row. And what we're gonna do, can you see this? Are we focused correctly? Okay. We're gonna knit our 2 edge stitches. And yarn over. Okay, just basic yarn over. Nothing fancy here. Knitting to the last 2 stitches, which is 1 little baby. We're gonna do another yarn over. Knit 2. Row 2 is wrong side row. We're going to knit 2. And can you see the yarn over? We're going to knit through the back. I'm going to knit to the next yarn over. Through the back. Knit 2. Our pattern instructs us to do this 8 more times, repeating rows 1 and 2. Knitting 2. Yarn over. Knit to the last 2. Alright, wrong side row. We're going to do it again. I'm going to go slow for you. I'm going to see if I can zoom in. These dogs are on one today. Alright, so you can see my little yarn over right here. And I'm going to knit through the back of the yarn over. Can you see that? here's the yarn over, and I'm going in through the back and knitting that. I feel like it's a little grainy as you get closer. Okay, so we're going to knit to the next yarn over. There she is. And knitting through the back. Okay. Knit 2. I'm going to do this one more time with you. Knit 2, yarn over, the last 2, yarn over, knit 2. Turning our work, wrong side facing, we're knitting 2. There's our little yarn over. Knit through the back. Knit to the next yarn over. And knit through the back. Got it? Knit through the back. 2. And there she is. So what do you think? It goes by so quickly. Being able to just throw your yarn over your needle to increase is amazing. I would love to see your little swatches if you want to send them to me or post them on Instagram or whatever you do. And like I said, I use this all the time. So if you've knit the polarized shawl, in order to get that nice crescent shape, there's actually 2 of these yarn overs at each end, and then you knit through the back of each of the yarn overs on the next row for the garter stitch sections. I do have a design coming out for Making Stories, another shawl where the edges are done this way. So let me know what you think. I will be back next week with part 2, the central double increase.